boy named Trib or Tran or Fig or Trig back in April. At least I think we did. All I know is one day my baby came out of my you-know-what, and 3 days later I was back at work. Even though we knew little Trig would be born with some challenges, we welcomed into our families. My opponent there, though, and his crowd don't seem to understand this because they love abortion. And they hate any kind of handicap, unless, of course, it's gayness, which they worship as a special power. See, the liberal abortocrats, and this has been proven by research, don't want to have babies because babies get in the way of their protest schedule and gender symposiums. And of course, a lot of them are community organizers. You know, the kind of people who work at places like ACORN, the International Anarchist Terrorist Atheist Pagan Organization, who wants to give the vote to house pets while they take it away from white people. Of course, that ACORN, they're the same people who are responsible for the mortgage crisis. But we in the Palin family, like all Republicans, love children, and I hope to have several more as your vice president. I'm also excited to be a grandmother. My daughter Bristol was so eager to start a family with the wonderful pardon me, I get so excited, with the wonderful young man who fell for her. Well, to be precise, he actually fell on top of her at the Wasilla High Warriors hockey team keg party. The Lord sure works in mysterious ways, doesn't he? And of course, everyone is curious about what the baby's name is going to be. Because as you notice, we Palins have a unique naming system. When our first son was born, my husband looked at him and just said, "Track Palin," because as he explains, he wanted to name the baby after something he loved to do. Bristol and Levi are planning to do the same thing, so our first grandchild is either going to be named Kickin' Ass or Shootin' Shit. Maybe we seem a little different than your average Washington family. It's true, I didn't go to a fancy exclusive college like my opponent, Poindexter Barack Nerd Bama. No, I went to college, regular colleges that you don't have to be especially intelligent to get into. Like the University of Idaho, North Idaho College, Matanuska-Susquehanna College, Hawaii Pacific University, and the University of Hawaii. And that's way more colleges than Obama went to. And I didn't major in those elitist, dusty public television kind of boring subjects like history or philosophy. I studied sports journalism, a discipline that let me buy my reading materials at the Rite Aid magazine counter. I also minored in Jesusology. I worked my way up first as a hockey mom, then a city councilor, then mayor. And as mayor, I had to clean house. I had to get rid of people who were the good old boys, who were used to doing things the way they liked, forgetting that they were working for me and the common people. Fortunately, I was able to replace them with people who were uniquely qualified and who just happened to be all from my homeroom in high school. You know, a lot of you know that I had to do some tough things when I was mayor. I've been widely persecuted by those who accuse me of wanting to ban books. Anyway, what the liberal media and the bloggers won't tell you is that when you become mayor, you have to do certain things. You gotta set up your desk. You gotta find your way around. You've got to talk to the librarian about banning books. Only, I was just asking about a book called Pastor, I'm Gay. Because I think the librarian made a mistake when she bought it. I think she meant to buy the book, Pastor, I'm Gay, Where Can I Sign Up for a Reprogramming Camp Session so I can remove the vile sin of homosexuality and live as a heterosexual man, just one with gray hair. I know I'm going to be drawing people to my administration from all walks of life. My sister Heather, she's got that service station right up there in Alaska, you know. She's going to be energy secretary. And right now, my future chief of staff is honing his skills as assistant manager of electronics at Best Buy in Anchorage. As you know, I'm for aggressive drilling, not only on the north slope of Alaska, but anywhere and everywhere there might be oil. Whether it's in Lake Winnipesaukee or the Grand Canyon, or heck, I'll set up a derrick right up there in Puffer's Pond over in Amherst. When I was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania yesterday, I was talking about how much coal we have in this country, just waiting to be plucked. Just waiting to be plucked. And one of the very intelligent people I attract to my rallies yelled out, "Mine, baby, mine!" Golly, did the mob like that one. Because what the people of this country want more than anything else is to just peel off the top of our nation like wrapping paper and go after the gifts of coal and oil that God favored us with. But seriously, on energy, as I recently told Sean Hannity, one of our nation's most respected journalists, and definitely not one of the elite, in a hard-hitting interview a few weeks ago. As I said, Sean, as you know, oil is a fungible commodity, and they don't flag, you know, the molecules, where it's going and where it's not. But in the sense of Congress today, Sean, they know that there are very, very hungry domestic markets that need oil first. So I believe that what Congress is going to do also is not to allow export bans to such a degree that it's Americans who get stuck holding the bag without the energy source that is produced here, pumped here. It's got to flow in our domestic markets first. That's exactly what I said. But before I leave, I want to leave you with one more thing, because I think people are craving that good news, aren't you? Aren't you craving the hope and the good news? Yeah. Let's remember that America is a great nation full of thoughtful people like Joe the plumber. Joe, who was thinking ahead to the day when he would become rich. As he knows, working class in this country become rich eventually. They all do, right? I mean, if you just wait long enough, you'll be driving a big old magical Rolls Royce that talks to you. You'll be flushing your toilet with champagne. You might get there by working hard, or perhaps more likely, you'll win the lottery. Or an old rich relative will leave you money. Or you'll go on a reality show and win that, and then go on another reality show and win that. Or maybe you'll find something in your attic that you thought was dusty and you take it in. And you find out it's worth $1 trillion. Or you go on a vacation to Ireland and you wander off from your tour and you see a little green man. And then you find a pot of gold. That's the things that will happen to people who vote for John McCain.